Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating people in tech right now, Lucy Guo. She is a brilliant founder and AI pioneer, and honestly, a total bundle of contradictions. So the real question is, what actually drives someone who seems to have everything? To figure that out, we've got to start with the puzzle that is her bank account. First off, let's just get this on the table. At just 30 years old, Lucy Guo is officially the youngest self-made woman billionaire on the entire planet. Yeah, that puts her ahead of even Taylor Swift. It's a mind-blowing achievement, but as you're about to see, that title, it doesn't quite tell the whole story.
And this is the core puzzle of Lucy Guo. On one hand, you've got her hunting for buy one, get one free deals on Uber Eats. And on the other hand, she's running spreadsheets to figure out the break-even point for chartering a private jet. Now, this isn't just some funny quirk. It's the absolute key to understanding how her entire mind works.
Okay, so let's dig into her relationship with money, because it's this wild mix of being super, super frugal while also making these enormous, ambitious bets. How can both of those things be true at the same time? Well, it all starts with understanding what being a billionaire actually means for her. Here's the most important thing you need to get. Lucy Guo is what we call rich on paper. Her incredible wealth isn't like a giant vault of cash she can just dive into. Almost all of it is tied up in stock from private companies. Assets that are, yes, insanely valuable, but you can't just go to an ATM and cash them out.
And this chart right here shows you exactly what that paper wealth looks like. See that huge purple section? That's all her stock in companies like Scale AI and her new one, Passes. And that tiny little blue sliver? Yeah, that's her liquid cash, the actual money she can spend day to day. This one chart explains so much about why her lifestyle doesn't always seem to match that billion-dollar title.
And this mindset, it didn't come from Silicon Valley. It was literally baked into her as a kid. Her parents were successful electrical engineers, but they ran the house with extreme frugality. We're talking no AC to save money and a constant drumbeat of save and invest. For Lucy, that meant Walmart clothes were the standard, and brand names were just a dumb way to waste money. That philosophy of never overpaying and always finding the deal, it stuck big time. And this story, it shows just how far she'd take that frugality. After her first big payday, when she had millions, not billions, she bought a $70,000 apartment in Las Vegas. And to save money on food, she came up with this crazy system. She'd book a fully refundable flight, skateboard over to the airport, eat for free in the American Express lounge, cancel the flight, and then skateboard home. Her only real bills or utilities. It's just wild. But she also figured out that perception really matters. So she ran this little social experiment on herself. For a while, she kept wearing her usual Walmart and Shein outfits and found herself getting literally shooed away from fancy clubs in LA. Then she started dressing the part, and all of a sudden, those exact same doors swung right open for her. It was a pretty stark lesson in how much the world judges a book by its cover. So where in the world did this relentless drive even come from? Well, it turns out her journey as an entrepreneur didn't start in some Silicon Valley garage. Nope. It started way earlier on a website for virtual pets. You can see this entrepreneurial hustle running through her entire life, just leveling up at every stage. It begins with earning cash on the second grade playground, morphs into selling video game items as a teen, and then just explodes when she drops out of college to co-found the AI giant Scale AI. And that leads her directly to what she's doing today with Passes. And here it is, in her own words, how it all started. She discovers PayPal and has this aha moment that you can make real money online. She was already an expert at the game Neopets, so she taught herself how to code bots. These bots would go and automatically snap up all the rarest items in the game, and then she'd flip them for hundreds of dollars in real cash on gaming forums. So what was driving this young coder? It wasn't about getting rich. It was about one simple thing: agency. Her parents were pretty strict and wouldn't buy her stuff she really wanted, like a skateboard. So earning her own money meant she could buy her own things, make her own decisions. It was her very first taste of real independence. So that early desire for independence, well, it scaled up, like way up. Let's look at the company she built, starting with the one that turned her into a billionaire. So, what does Scale AI actually do? Well, it started with this simple idea, an API for humans. Here's how it works today. A self-driving car company, for instance, sends Scale a photo from one of its cameras. Then, a huge network of human workers goes in and labels everything in that photo. That's a car, that's a stop sign, that's a person. That perfectly labeled data gets sent back, and the company's AI model uses it to get smarter. See, the thing about machine learning is that your AI is only as good as the data you train it on. By providing this super crucial data labeling service, Scale AI basically became the picks and shovels of the entire AI gold rush. They make the fundamental tools everyone else needs to build their AI. And today, the company is valued at an absolutely staggering $25 billion. Okay, so you've co-founded a generation-defining company at the very heart of the AI revolution. Why would you walk away to start something new? And why pivot from something as complex as AI infrastructure to the world of internet creators? The answer is all about how she sees the world. To Lucy, creators aren't just influencers. They're founders of their own small businesses. She saw her creator friends really struggling with up and down income from brand deals. And when she looked at platforms like Patreon, she just felt they were way too basic. She realized creators didn't just need a tip jar, they needed a full set of business tools. And that is exactly the gap Passes was built to fill. So this brings us all the way back to the core of her character. If she's not really motivated by spending money, and she's already achieved this massive financial success, what keeps her going? What's the ultimate driver? You know, to really understand what drives her, maybe we shouldn't look at her companies. Maybe we should look at her favorite gym, Barry's Boot Camp. When they held a worldwide competition, what did Lucy do? She took 7 classes. 7. In a single day. There was no giant prize. It wasn't for fame. It was just about being number one. When you ask her directly, her answer is so simple, it's almost jarring. I just like winning. That's it. It's that same competitive fire her parents instilled in her to be first in the class, just scaled up to a global stage. For her, the game itself is the prize. And that's exactly why she started Passes. She does not need the money. She did it because building a successful company for consumers is, in her mind, one of the hardest games a founder can possibly play. It's a mix of strategy, execution, and pure luck. It's a game she wants to prove she can win. Period. It's a pretty fascinating way to look at a career, and at life, really. Which leaves us with one last thought to chew on. If money was no object for you, what challenge would you take on? What game would you play just for the sake of winning it?